like Randy McKay, so he's still searching for a Super Bowl win. Here we go. Patriots Bengals under 40.5. Jaguars Dolphins over 49. Dolphins -3. Titans +3.5. Jets +4.5. Rams Lions under 52.5. And the best bet Sunday night, Lions -4.5 against the Rams. And I do believe when we're talking about consensus plays, and you can find the official chart up at vsin.com, I think the Titans are on the list, and the Jets are on the list, and the Texans are on the list. I'm not sure what order, but I can tell you the three of the most popular plays in this contest: Texans -2.5, Titans +3.5, and Jets +4.5 consensus plays. All right, that was Matt St. Marie and his best bet, the Lions, on Sunday night. That'll make Derek Stevens happy here. All right, Scott Pritchard, Scotty P, Las Vegas Pro Bettor. And again, Scott earned an automatic invitation to the contest because he was a top 5 finisher last year, actually third place finisher in this contest. And you can find him on Twitter at Pritchard Wins. You can also find him on TikTok and Instagram. He's world famous. Scott Pritchard, Louisiana -13.5 at Kennesaw State, his best bet. How about that? Scott Pritchard going with Louisiana -13.5 as the best bet. Also for Pritchard, we've got Central Michigan, Florida International over 50. Marshall, Virginia Tech over 52.5. Michigan State, Maryland over 44. Vikings -1 at Giants. Buffalo, Missouri over 51.5. North Carolina -21 against Charlotte. I think we got them all in there. And by the way, contestants here are limited to 4 college totals out of their 7 total plays because we don't want contestants just playing numbers that move on the screen on Friday afternoon, and college totals move more than anything else. Sean Higgs, he is a professional handicapper and radio host out of Texas, good friends with Big Randy McKay. And Sean Higgs hanging out here at Stadium Swim at Circa, celebrating his 50th birthday not long ago. Higgs documents all his plays on Twitter, which is a good way to gain respect as a sports bettor. Documenting everything, documenting your records, win or lose. Don't sweep the losers under the rug. Put it all out there. Sean Higgs on Twitter at Mr. Sean Higgs. Commanders, Buccaneers under 42 is best bet. Also, Jets +4.5, Steelers +4, Rams, Lions over 52.5, Charlotte at North Carolina under 48. How about Colts +2.5 against the Texans? And there it is again, Titans +3.5 at the Bears. And I guess you could say we're saving the best for last, at least the best in the Westgate Super Contest. Only back-to-back winner in the Super Contest, Steve Fezzik. And you can find him at Fezzik Sports. And Fezzik, obviously, a lot of success here as well. He finished 21st in the Circa Million last year. Best bet for Steve Fezzik. Iowa State +3 at Iowa. The Cyhawk game, he's taking the Cyclones in the field goal. Also for Steve Fezzik, Louisiana -13.5 at Kennesaw State. Charlotte at North Carolina under 48. Troy at Memphis under 57. Texas State -1 against Texas San Antonio. Houston, Oklahoma under 49.5. Washington State at Pick'em against Texas Tech. And that is it for tonight's show. Everything will be up online at vsin.com as soon as this show is over. If you're a vsin pro, you get all the picks right away. Stay tuned for the Sports Gambling Podcast up next. Stay tuned all weekend here to the Sports Betting Network.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face. And posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Meludic Live is your home for high school sports. We have all the scores on our social media platforms throughout the games. Enjoy our timely updates from local area schools year-round. You won't get the consistency and reliability from anyone else. Our number one priority is servicing our fans and getting them live news as it's happening. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Meludic_Live. And remember, our fans come first.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it.
The Mahoning Valley Federals is the area's minor league football team. After only 2 years in existence and an appearance in the league playoff semifinal game, the Federals are looking to add Valley High School and college talent to help take the next step toward a league championship. For more information on how to become part of the Federals' journey, go to Facebook at the Mahoning Valley Federals Developmental Football Team or contact General Manager John Galbraith at 330-540-1099. The Mahoning Valley Federals, honoring the football tradition in the Valley.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
It's time to kick back and listen to the Sports Page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Saturday morning Sports Page. I'm Pat Lucia. 330-707-4202. Dave Clark on his way into the studio. We have obviously a lot to talk about in the wonderful world of football, no doubt, and sports, but mainly football. It is front and center. We're going to roll through some high school scores. But the Peacock game last night, for those that maybe did not know and didn't get the game or didn't want to pay to get the game, held in Brazil. A lot of people upset about that as far as the fans or the players could not have their families down there for security reasons. But some New York Giant fans are probably not all that happy either because they watched Saquon Barkley, who they let go down Route 95, signed with the Eagles as a free agent. He scored 3 touchdowns, and the Philadelphia Eagles won a very hard-fought game, 34-29. So Saquon Barkley had a Hall of Fame performance, no doubt, if he keeps that up. And obviously now the New York Giants will hopefully do well against the Minnesota Vikings at home. They will be facing Sam Darnold, who used to play fair games with the Jets at MetLife. He returns to MetLife to play the New York Giants. But as last night's game, as far as the Giants go, probably a lot of Giant fans are not very happy, and they'll have to get over it because the team, as we talked previously, had made the decision to pretty much put all their money with Daniel Jones and pretty much let Saquon Barkley go at the free agent route. And now I think Giant fans are going to be watching Saquon Barkley have a great banner year for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles did win. Big game last night again, 34-29. Previous game, obviously the Thursday night game, the Ravens came up short against the Kansas City Chiefs 27-20. So that's been at least the 2 NFL games that are in front of us and over. And we will get to the rest of the NFL games, big college slated games. No doubt that we want to get to those, get to as far as the Ohio State Buckeyes playing Western Michigan. Better be careful. Western Michigan gave Wisconsin a pretty good run for their money a couple weeks ago. So we're going to wait and see how the Buckeyes make out against Western Michigan at home. They cruised against Akron, which everybody knew they had a rough first half, obviously working out cobwebs, etc. But they ultimately snapped back in the second half, and it turned basically into a pretty much scrimmage, which we pretty much predicted. So that was how at least the Buckeyes went, but other big college games today. It is maybe, I'm not sure it's the biggest game, but one of the biggest games on the weekend docket for college football is Texas at Michigan. That game is today at noon on Fox TV. So obviously, if you're going to be watching it, you'll get it on network TV. Texas is a 7-point favorite taking on Michigan. Michigan won last week over they beat Fresno State. So they will go ahead and roll out. And Texas had their little scrimmage game. They beat Colorado State 52-0. Michigan beat Fresno State 30-10. So that may be the highlight game of college football. But the other interesting game on the docket, and we've got about 8 of these games to look at today as far as giving our predictions. But Colorado is taking on Nebraska tonight at 7:30. That's the NBC game. And as we talked about, Deion Sanders, coach of Colorado, they beat North Dakota State 31-26. And Nebraska had an easy game against UTEP 40-7. So Matt Rule, the head coach for Nebraska's hoping that he could start a new era out there, winning, obviously. So we'll see how Matt Rule and Nebraska does today at 7 o'clock tonight on NBC. Also, and that's also on Peacock. Big games, or at least games in the local games to get to. Let's look at some of the scores from last night. It was Fitch beating Glen Oak 35-0. Boardman beat Cheney 15-0. There was weather at play last night for those out there wondering. Maybe we had a few too many shutouts, but that was kind of the day as far as last night. Valley Christian beat Brookfield 23-6. Caldwell shut out Wellsville 43-0. Campbell beat Champion 30-25. Steubenville beat Mooney 31-21. Western Reserve beat Columbiana 35-7. Crestview beat United 30-7. East Palestine beat Bridgeport 32-0. Ursuline shut out Farrell 27-0, and I believe that game was pretty much over half. They had a weather problem out there, and that was the game that Dave Clark was doing, and he's going to kind of give us a rundown on what he had out there. Poland beat Firelands, and that game was done 19-0, and you could listen to that game on Western Reserve Radio, which is home of Poland football this year. So you can listen to all the Poland high school football games here on Western Reserve Radio, and that was Jim Craven, Bob Gessler, who made the trip out there to the Firelands, and it was a rainy night, and Poland did shut out Firelands 19-0. West Branch beat Girard 48-7, and Hubbard beat Howland 24-3. Niles beat Lakeside 26-6. Strasburg Franklin shut out Latonia 42-0. Lakeview edged Liberty 19-6. Lisbon beat Waterloo 20-6. Lowville beat Tuscaroras CC 47-8. Warren Harding beat Maslin Perry 15-9. Clearview beat McDonald 20-7. Reynolds beat Mercer 32-31 on the Pennsylvania side, and Mineral Ridge beat St. Thomas Aquinas 54-7. And Olmsted Falls beat Canfield, which is a little bit of a surprise, 35-6. Canfield and Poland will be the game next week. Big high school game in this area. Battle of 224. We have that game here on Western Reserve Radio next Friday night. Big game, Poland taking on Canfield. Poland 3-0. Canfield 1-2. Surprising a lot of people. They were in the went far in the state last year, and they just haven't really done well so far this year. Lost to West Branch, and now Olmsted Falls. And it was kind of a sound victory for Olmsted Falls and a little bit of a surprise 35-6. So we'll see how that game plays out, but you can listen to that game here on Western Reserve Radio next week. One other game, South Range shut out Barberton 38-0, and then Salem beat East Liverpool 13-7. Geneva beat Springfield 21-14, which is a surprise. Dave Clark, you were at the game last night with Ursuline and Farrell, and I noticed that game was over really early. It was 27-0.
Yeah, but it's a tale of two games. At the beginning of that game, Ursuline had problems against Farrell with his speed and things that was happening on offense. It was like a stalemate. And then finally, they scored. Finally, they scored, and Ursuline got a score in, and then right after that, they turned the ball over on a fumble down close. Farrell did turn the ball over, another touchdown. And that's what happened. Then they had a blocked punt. Got the ball, had one down, touchdown. And then the next thing that happened was another fumble, and it was ran in for a touchdown. So it was a game that was back and forth, struggling, defensive game. We couldn't believe. We was talking about, we said Farrell had been giving up 32 points a game, and Mark kept emphasizing that. And we said, yeah, and they out here playing some great defense because Ursuline couldn't move the ball. And then as soon as that first little turnover, it was like the floodgates open.
Yeah.
Within a 3 and what was it, Mark put 3 minutes and 49 seconds, they had 3 turnovers, and they all resulted in touchdown.
Wow! So that just
and then the rain, and then
I know the rains came,
and we knew once they got out that far, it was over because Ursuline's on offense, their tempo was much higher. Everything, the energy level, they wasn't going to come back.
So they didn't. Did they play after it was 27-0?
No.
Because I had the game on.
No.
I tried to get the game on. So the game was basically canceled according to TV.
Yep.
Because it was supposed to be on the game of the week on my TV.
Right.
And I went over to it because I was kind of all over the board last night. And I flipped over on that. I said, the game's not on. Is it halftime? And then it said, no. The scroll underneath it said the Ursuline Farrell game 27-0 has been canceled.
Yep.
And weather delay.
Yeah.
Weather canceled, and then that was pretty much it. So did they even get to this? Did they play a half?
No, they didn't even get to half.
They didn't even get to half.
No, that's what I said. The whole first quarter, most of the first quarter was basically just a defensive struggle. And then, like I said, after Ursuline got that first touchdown, matter of fact, let me take it back. Farrell was moving straight down the field on them. I mean, they started on that 7-yard line, moved straight down the field on Ursuline, and then they got down to like Ursuline's 37-yard line, and they threw a deep one-on-one pass to the end zone, one-on-one with the receiver. It was perfect. I mean, the pass was there. The defensive back made a great play on the ball. They both went up for it. They came down the end zone together, but he was able to pull the ball away for the interception. Ursuline got the ball, couldn't move, punted down to them, and then they fumbled, and Ursuline scored. And after that, the floodgates.
And that's it.
Yep, and the floodgates just kept turnovers, different things. At first, they was playing a very good game. I mean, I was shocked how well they was playing for such a young team. Coach Pegues got a young team in Farrell. I mean,
good, yeah.
So and then their leading rusher, Julius Johnson, was out. He had 584 yards, 8 touchdowns in only 2 games. And he was out.
He was out.
Yeah. So that was a guy they definitely needed on offense. So, so they had a 30-minute delay, then went into another 30-minute delay after that. And I think we got 15 minutes into the delay, and both coaches and athletic directors decided to just call it. It was pouring too. I mean, it was pouring.
Yeah, probably the field wasn't even that bad. Even the question is the drainage.
Turf.
Yeah, it was turf.
Yeah.
But again, with all that rain, the drainage is probably not the greatest field to try to play on after all that rain anyway.
Yeah. And then everybody emptied the stadiums after that.
Yeah, people probably
they were gone.
Yeah, they were gone.
I mean, it was pouring so hard, and it was something. They called the game, and as soon as they called the game, it stopped raining.
It's usually the way it happens.
We were all leaving out. Like, what's going on? It's not no rain, nothing. But, it was a game. I'm just, they had sat too long.
Yeah, and that's
too long. It's better just
the problem you have, is if they sit that long and then to try to get them back on the field and warming up, then you have the potential of the injury.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a good, potentially a tough situation with injuries.
Yeah, stuff
so
like that.
You want to, at that point, sitting as long as they did, just move forward.
Move forward. You're right.
Cancel it. It's 27-0.
Yeah,
so
let's go ahead.
You knew Farrell wasn't really coming back.
No,
they didn't they probably didn't want to play after that.
No.
Not with the kids sitting as long as they did.
Yeah,
either.
absolutely.
Because then you're getting into potential safety issues with injuries.
Right.
And it makes sense.
And next week's game for Jim and them with Poland and Canfield, I in my opinion, since we've seen Canfield earlier in the season, unless they jailed a little bit more, they're young. You know, they lost a lot of people. Canfield, from last year. So they got a quarterback that he's not bad. He's athletic, but he's new. He was playing receiver last year.
Did they get? Where did they get? They didn't get into the Final Four last year. They got, I think, to the Final 8.
Somewhere in there.
That's it. They got to the Final 8.
Yep.
I think the year before they
went further.
They went further
the
year before, but I think they got to the Final 8 and then they were beat.
Yep. So I mean, it's the thing that I just think Poland we haven't seen, but I know that they're, from what I've heard, talking to the gym and then being able to hear some of their game too, it just seemed like they're much more solid. And unless one thing about those teams though that are young, and you said it, I think it was last week.
Yeah, well, last week we talked
about they start to gel.
They gel.
Yeah, they get together and they make, you never know what type of effort, especially when it's a rivalry game. So things can happen. So,
next week's game is going to be the game you're going to throw out the proverbial records because
things that happen.
You don't base it on their record because the records get set aside when these two teams like a Poland Canfield, it's got the rival.
And when we talked to Coach Reardon last night, that's one of the things too, he just said a lot of people look at this as this would be a game that we should come right out and blow fair out. He said, but it's something about when they match up, it's always a good, and that's actually was surprised at the beginning. It was actually just like he said, it was just back and forth battle, But I've still felt that Ursa would eventually prevail anyway because they're much more efficient and everything like that. But Farrell was putting up a good thing, but it seemed like once they turned the ball over, it's just like I don't know if confidence or whatever, or trying too hard, it just kept having issues. And
they just had a young team.
Yeah.
And
10th grade, the quarterback is a 10th grader. I mean,
they got bit by the kind of turnover bug.
Yeah.
And they couldn't overcome it. Looking at the NFL, Dave Clark, and we'll get to the college Irish Michael calling, and we'll ask him why Notre Dame doesn't play anybody this year. Their schedule is, they have potentially one loss on that schedule. That would be at USC at the end of the year. I don't really see any loss on that schedule this year.
I can't say that to them. I won't make fun because they usually have one of the harder.
Usually they do schedule the harder ones. I don't know this year, But
they have people. I'm trying to think. Do they have Florida State on there?
Yeah, they have Florida State, but
they're down.
Florida State's down.
So when you look at the teams that's on there, you would think, hey, they usually, but they're, and I don't know if Florida State down or what is going on because they actually got the athletes and the players. They should be a lot better.
I know everybody's critical of the quarterback.
Yeah.
What's his name?
DJ Ugalele.
Yeah, Ugalele or Ugalele. Right.
Yep.
Anyway. What I saw in the game, and I know we said NFL, but I just want to talk about the Boston College game. You could maybe be critical of the quarterback, but what jumped out at me, where was Florida State's running defense? Yeah. Boston College ran the ball down their throat.
Yeah, no, that's what it says.
Dominated the line of scrimmage, and they were just like, hand that ball off, and they just punched Florida State literally in the mouth with that running game, and they were gaining 10 yards, 9 yards, 8
chunks all the time.
Chunks, and they were moving that line off the ball. And I said, I was thinking, okay, Florida State. Nick Saban said they were one of the top five team in the country in a preseason. And now, they lose to Georgia Tech, but then everybody thought, well, they're going to bounce back, be really mean, and beat Boston College and make a statement. Yeah. No, the other thing happened. I don't know if they didn't. I don't know if they're not that good. I don't know if there's issues, but Boston College came rolling in at Florida State in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And I mean, they put a hurting on Florida State.
Yeah,
and the fans were booing. They were upset because their team got their proverbial butts kicked.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I definitely can't say they're not good because the athletes they got is there, and they did great in recruiting and the transfer portal. He brought people in that can play, but evidently, whatever system they run, they have not gelled yet. That's all I can see. Now, people looked at that Georgia Tech game and was saying, "Oh, what's wrong?" When I didn't really think nothing was wrong because people are underestimating Georgia Tech. They got a very good football team. And people just think they're not, but they were competitive last year, and they were a good football team. So that didn't really jump out at me. But when they played Boston College, I said the only thing I said, they're playing Boston College, led by Bill O'Brien, a guy that's been in the pros. They can put something in college. He done did both, and I said he may be able to put something together that will challenge him. But I still thought Florida State would be able to prevail. No, they got dominated. And
they got totally done.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, but they better figure it out quick.
Well, they're probably out of the playoff already.
Yes,
the only way they could get in it, I think, now is they'd have to win the ACC, which they still could do. But they have two ACC losses.
All right, but they still could.
They could still win it because let's face it, we know that the ACC is not really one of the strongest conferences. So if Florida State rights the ship, cliche, and ultimately, wins, they could win that conference, get into a number 2 position and win the playoff and make the 12. But then I don't think they're going to make it as they're not going to make it as a wild card team.
No,
they could maybe still win the conference.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key. They have to win the conference, but they're it's razor thin for them to make it.
But they don't have They don't have a lot of room for error.
No,
you're right.
They don't have that. They need to run the table from here.
And the other team that stood out last week was Clemson. Basically, is dropped to a second level team. They're not Clemson for years with Dabo Swinney was always in the top 3 or 4 in the country. They're not that anymore. I mean, Georgia just handled them pretty good. Yeah. I know the first half was kind of tough, but Georgia figured it out, and Clemson just doesn't seem to be at the level they used to be. Now, they could still win the ACC because it's open, and I may make the argument after watching Boston College play and Georgia Tech play, I don't know if you rule out Boston College either or Georgia Tech to be in the mix. The ACC, to me, of all the conferences, seems to be wide open this year.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. But the thing I would say about Clemson, the defense, if anybody, in my opinion, defense is top notch.
Right.
But you can't win with only defense and can't move the ball.
You got to move. Yeah, you got to get.
Quarterback makes too many mistakes. He's making the same mistakes he's been making for a couple of years now. And he was a 5-star, but something is not right with him, and they're not able to do anything on offense. The defense held up. That game was so good because of the defense at the beginning. They were in that thing
down,
but you get worn down when you're on the field all the time. Any defense, pros, college, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yep. So I mean, that's the thing. So they got to try to see if they can get that offense right, and maybe Dabo got to go to. Well, I will agree with Dabo when he said he doesn't have anything. They said you got something against the portal because he doesn't use it. He said no. He said people that he tried to get in the portal, they might have went somewhere else, and he don't think he should just go to the portal and get guys if they don't fit his system and what he's doing. If they're not able to fit there, why would you put, as we always talk about, something that's square in a round hole? And he's right.
Yeah.
So if they don't fit your system, you got to go with your recruits. And a lot of times that don't hold up in today's college game because of the portal. Teams can turn it around in an instant just because of the portal. One year they can be, and the next year they could be a powerhouse.
That's one thing, right? We've seen
so you got to watch
portal now is teams can go out, they can get better quickly.
Yep. And that's what I like. That's why I like what Miami did. Great recruiting. They have been able to recruit good. and then getting Cam Ward, who almost went to Ohio State,
right,
and went on and went to the Hurricanes. He's a big reason. Their defense played well, but he's a big reason. The guy is a good quarterback. He is.
Yeah, he is. He's a good player.
And stays really exceptionally calm playing in the.
What I want to jump to is I know this is going to be. We'll do this on the fly. Let's get to the NFL. And anyway, let's talk. I was going to look at each division. Let's give our prediction on each division. Let's start with the East, AFC East. What I would like to do is just get to the prediction. And then we could just say the let's get to we could predict the finals, conference finals, and their Super Bowl predictions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. AFC East, Dave Clark. Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets.
Man, that's going to be a tough division. Oh, this is tough. I probably should have their schedule out looking at it, because that's going to have a lot to do with it. I'm just trying to think of it. I'm just thinking, I want to say Buffalo, but
well, the way I kind of look at this is this.
I should probably pull up my schedule.
I think the AFC East
is a great division.
It's a great division. I'll do it on the fly because basically,
I'll take to win the division.
Yeah,
you want who's going to win?
The top four.
Okay.
I mean, the four is going to how it's going to.
Well, I know it. I'll go from the bottom. New England's last.
Yeah. Right. I think we're all in agreement.
I'm thinking, wow, but they all might make the playoffs.
Well, we know New England won't.
No, but I was saying Miami next.
Yeah, and then you
the
just
Jets and Buffalo,
right?
And I still think all of them could make it. All three of those, not the Patriots, but the other three. I think they can all make the playoffs. They're interchangeable. Those three.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm thinking. I was thought that last week.
Yeah.
Is anyway. Yeah. Let's look at the Bengals. Let's look at the AFC North. This is going to be
AFC North.
This is the one that's going to be one for the books because
there's the music.
We got bailed out.
Give me a little extra time, but I still think I know who.
Yeah. All right. First quarter's already over. What happened?
I don't know.
Quick timeout on Western Reserve Radio. Back after this.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192. Discount Power Sports at 778 North Main Street in Hubbard is hosting a raffle for a 125cc Ventura ATV. Tickets are $30 each and 100 tickets are available. For each raffle, when those 100 are gone, a winner will be drawn and a new raffle will begin. Tickets can be purchased at any Hubbard home game or at 778 North Main Street or by calling 330-717-4441. $1,500 from each raffle will go toward a scholarship for the Hubbard Youth Coalition.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
Saturday morning sports page coming right back at you, 330-707-4202. Let's go ahead then and hit the phones. Probably have Irish Mike. You're on the sports page. What's up?
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Dave. How you guys doing?
Hey, Irish Mike. What's happening?
Not too bad. And then, now we're into September finally, September 7th. And, NFL obviously started Thursday. And, hey, what a joke that first quarter was, okay? The NFL should be ashamed of themselves. Now, I'm a Browns fan, so I was rooting for the Chiefs, which is hard to do because, let's be honest, guys, the Chiefs get a lot of calls, okay? But that first drive to call the Ravens 3 different times for their tackles in the backfield, okay, when the Chiefs were doing the exact same thing. If you watch the lineups, the guy broke it down and showed where they're lining up. Sean Hockley is a joke as a referee. He always has been. He always will be. Okay, he got there because he's old man, but that's neither here nor there. But his crew, is trying to prove everybody else in the NFL, and it's like just takes away from the game.
Yeah. Well, we was just talking about me and Mark on the air, even though he's doing high school football. We was talking about that game in the pre-show, and we was talking about the calls. I mean, I can understand if you called it once, and then you can even explain to them because they can do that. They can go over and tell them, "Hey, you just need to move up a little bit. That's all. You're not really out of line." He was lining up that way, but so was the other on Kansas City's tackles. Was the same way. Juwan Johnson, Johnson was in the backfield too. If you want to call that the backfield, but I don't think either one of them was in the backfield. I
don't think either one were lined up incorrectly on either side. I mean, as far as the Chiefs or the Ravens, but to call it on one side and say we're not going to call it on the other, like people revert back to last year's Super Bowl. There was no holding penalties on the Chiefs when they led the league in holdings. I mean, it's like, come on, really? Like, you're making it look bad. You're making I wanted to call up Tim Donaghy from the NBA and say that this is what you talked about for all these on your Netflix series.
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, it's that part that was getting on my nerves. I mean, every play for Baltimore is calling it and calling on the same guy, Ron Stanley. I said, come on. And I looked at it. Is it supposed to be right at the centers or the guards backside, right? You could be lined up there. He was lined up there. He wasn't behind that.
No.
I mean, come on. He would have been in the backfield.
This
way
is
in the backfield.
the problem that is going to continue to plague the NFL. And we're going to talk about it every year.
And you hit the nail right ahead, Dave. If you look at it as a sports fan, honestly, fairly, and objectively, you'd say it's the same thing. If you're rooting for the Chiefs or you have a wager on the Chiefs, you're going to say, yeah, those are great calls, okay? Because you want to see, but it's like, come on, that was ridiculous.
Yes, I mean, eventually something's going to happen. It's not, they can't because it's slowing up slowing up the flow of the game. It's too much.
And then they had the delay or the weather, and then that's the problem I have with the officials. They're not supposed to be part of the game. Like, they shouldn't be front and center. You shouldn't have to call up, and the first thing literally about the game is how the officials screwed up. I mean, that's the problem I have with the NFL, and I hope they get it right. They right this ship, because that was game number 1.
Yeah.
Are we going to have this conversation to the point where you don't even want to have it anymore? Because it's like that old saying, why have a conversation about something you can't change? Why waste your energy? Because this is just going to be something you're going to have to learn to live with, referees doing this kind of crap.
Or is it do it on purpose, Pat? Because everybody in the league's watching a Thursday night game. All 30 other teams are watching and saying, we're going to put a major emphasis on this. Like,
Yeah.
Who the hell the Browns going to start a left tackle that can block Micah Parsons?
Right.
If they say they got to move up another yard.
Yeah. The thing is, I do believe what you said at the beginning. I believe that they came out, Sean Hockley's and his crew, to like make a statement about this here. I don't think every crew is going to be doing that. I just think Dave's trying to show it.
Problem you're going to have this year.
Yeah, because they're not going to do that. But they want to emphasize. They want to use it as an example.
That crew wants to emphasize.
Yeah.
But the other crews are not going to emphasize.
Yeah. Well, they may not know more. I think they use them.
Well, this is where Goodell
to try to get them to show what they're supposed to
drop his hammer on these guys. I mean, you're the commissioner. Come on. You have everybody watching it. Drop the hammer and tell.
Well, I think if it continues, it will. I don't think it's not on one game. They're not. But it's too much, though. It still was too much.
All the years I've watched football, no one ever called. I mean, I remember years and years and years of watching football.
Yeah.
I'm talking, back in 1964 and forward. This was never called.
Yeah. Well,
never.
I
can't remember.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I seen it last season being called, but they were actually really lined up too far back.
Well, that's right.
I mean, they had that they like to take that big step back in pass protection. Well, yeah, some guys that had already took that step, they were really back there. These guys, the problem with this, they weren't really back like that.
No, I know. That's
the thing.
One series, Pat, or John Harbaugh was getting the officials basically pointing out, saying, you're not calling it on them. Like, what? You mean, like,
right.
And he's right.
And that's the problem. But see, therein lies your problem. That's what really gets people upset is you're calling it. It's obvious you're calling on one team and not the other team.
Correct.
That's what is the big problem. If you're going to call it across the board, right? That is.
That's a major perception problem.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, what do you guys want? You're looking for a three-peat. You want Kansas City to three-peat. No team has ever three-peated in the Super Bowl in the era. Nobody ever has. So Kansas City would be the first team. And the Super Bowl started, the first game was 1967. And if you do the what is that? 57 years, or it would be Super Bowl 58. Or no, it'd be actually 59. But no team has ever three-peated. Kansas City is going to be the first one.
And I don't want to take anything away from them because they do get calls, but they do have the type of personnel and team to be the first ones to ever do it. They really do.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
there's no question about that to me. But it's still going to be hard pressed. I still think it's going to be hard pressed for them to do it.
At the lunch table yesterday, guys, we said, we were talking about it, and like saying he's a Browns fan, he was rooting against the Ravens. But if you're just fair, honest, and objective, you say, wait a second, like, come on. And it's like he said to me, I felt like I was watching mid-'90s, late '90s NBA with the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Right? That we're just going to give you all the calls.
Right. Yeah, that's what everybody
to this. You can't have that perception. I mean, you can't have that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Especially coming off the Super Bowl last February when there was no holding penalties against their offensive line when they were the biggest holding team in the NFL.
Right.
Right?
No, agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a major perception issue here.
And the Super Bowl.
They can bury their head and say, no, they're not. Come on.
Yeah, and they got a big call against Philadelphia in the Super Bowl before that on that holding call that everybody said.
With Bradbury?
Yeah, this day, it was got to be one of the worst calls. You don't, as Mad Dog Russo said 100,000 times, you don't make that call. That wasn't
not in that time of the game.
Not in that time of the game.
And,
you keep
they were doing
flag.
it. Both teams were doing it early in the game.
Right.
So why would you do it then?
And you don't make a call like that that's just going to decide the outcome of the game. That's all there is to it. It wasn't even a blatant hold. It was even questionable at best. I guess by the letter of the law, it technically was if you want to argue it, but give it a break. You don't make that call that time in the game. Now, if he grabbed him and held him, that's different. But it was even it's just a touch and a nab.
Yeah.
And the guy went by him and he kind of got his hands on him and then let go.
He didn't distort his body. He didn't stop nothing.
You don't call that.
Yeah.
Because that decided the outcome of the game.
Yeah, it did.
Why do Dave Clark? Why do Pat Lucia? Why do those left tackles sometimes sneak back a half a yard or half a step? And we kind of like they're trying to protect their quarterback's blind side. If the NFL wants their marquee players, their quarterbacks in league, I mean, you're going to say, okay, we're going to let Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett just dominate the game tomorrow and each have 4 or 5 sacks and put Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott out of the game.
Right.
Yeah, well, we don't
and
know.
something they don't want, and that's what they don't want to
That's all
happen.
been going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's father passed.
Correct. Yeah.
I read the article this morning, so I don't know if it's going to impact him as far as playing in the game. I know in the article said his father really wasn't a very intricate part of his life.
Yeah. He was not much part of his life, unfortunately.
No. So I'm not sure how that's going to play itself out, but that will be a good game, no doubt, tomorrow to basically to look at as far as.
Guys, let's watch some College Game Day, okay? And I'm going to get your analogy about this. They have LSU, Clemson, Florida State, and Florida, okay? And they're combined 0 for 5 to start the season. 3 teams: Florida, Clemson, LSU 0-1, obviously Florida State at 0-2. Who of those 4 programs, who would you be most concerned about right now?
Florida State.
Florida State.
And who you said LSU? What else?
It was LSU, Florida, Clemson, and
Florida State.
Yeah.
You have 4 teams.
I take maybe Florida.
Well,
They're
Florida.
terrible.
Florida's got.
They got some major problems.
They got major issues. There's no reason why that team should be that bad, but they have been for a few years. They really haven't had a premier head coach. Let's call it for what it is. These guys have been
Urban Meyer left.
Yeah, since Urban left, they haven't really had the premier head coach to make the program really a top 5 program or even a top 10. Now they're not even, I would say of those, although Florida State, we talked a little bit earlier, I don't know I know the quarterback is on his 3rd team, but he may be a problem, but I thought the problem was their running defense was non-existent in Boston College. Just pushed them down the field, punched them in the mouth, and ran the ball. And they were getting 8.
That was supposed to have a pretty good defense line. That was supposed to be the strength of their team.
I know.
I thought I think we all took BC last Saturday plus 17. I thought that was stealing. I thought, obviously FSU played in Ireland 2 weeks ago, and they had a 9-day lap in between ball games, but Bill O'Brien's still a pretty good offensive mind. I thought if Florida State's going to win, it's probably going to be by a touchdown to 10 points, not by 17 or more, because O'Brien's pretty good.
Right.
Well, O'Brien is, like we talked, he's a very, very good coach. He was a great, great. He was very good at Penn State. And then he's a good coach. He can coach kids up.
Terrible GM.
Yeah. Yeah, not a great GM with Houston, but I think he's a really good head coach, and he can coach really in either. He's had a lot of guys can't do what he does, is coach college and pro and do it very well.
Yeah.
And he's done a very good job. And obviously Boston College is his first year, but he was able to get kids either put a team together. He knows talent, because Boston College looked like a pretty solid team in my book. I mean, they could win the ACC.
Yeah. I know with Florida, they benched their quarterback, Grant Mertz.
He wasn't any good at Wisconsin. I don't even understand. That guy was terrible at Wisconsin, and he's not really any good at Florida. I don't even know why he was even playing.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think with him being a senior, they did that, but the guy, DJ Lagway, is no joke. 6'4", about 245, 4'3", 40. He's a dual threat. Just go ahead and put him in there. When I watched that orange and blue game, I said, this guy, how do you get him? How do you get him down the ground? He's big as Cam Newton, but way faster. And he got an arm like ever. So now he's a starter now. But I think he wanted to go ahead with the senior and see how he did first game. And there was no spark on offense, so that other guy's starting. He's starting his first game this week.
Hey, Irish Mike, now that we have you, let's go ahead and get for our college picks. I want to let you know that last week, week 1, you were 3-3. I was 3-3, and Dave Clark. You were 4-2, Dave Clark.
Okay.
Good job, Dave Clark.
So good job, Dave Clark.
Yeah.
you led us. You got we got the West Virginia game, Penn State game wrong. Georgia we got right. You and Irish Mike got Miami. I took Florida. Then we both got Notre Dame. Irish Mike, you went with A&M. And then
I'm glad to be wrong about that one.
You were glad to be wrong. We got LSU wrong, and we got Boston College right. And that LSU game was that might have been the best game of the weekend. I thought the LSU game, USC.
That was a good game. But you know what? Wasn't that like a different USC team?
Totally.
I ain't never seen their defense has never been like that. Playing like that.
You saw the graphic.
Probably since Pete Carroll left back in 2009.
Right. That's the last time you seen defense.
You saw the graphic where they showed the players, defensive players, their weights now and last week.
And then they show pictures of
them, how big. I mean, muscular, how much, they got basically bigger muscular dudes. Those guys just body transformation. And USC.
And then bringing a different coach on defense and different philosophy.
He fired he fired the whole coaching staff pretty much, brought in a whole new coaching
and they
staff.
look different too.
And they look totally different and obviously better.
Yeah, physical on offense.
And even the quarterback played great, and he looked like he wasn't running for his life like Caleb Williams. Williams was all last year. This
running
guy
all the time.
He was Caleb Williams was just like, some people say, but that's Caleb's way to play. No. Caleb Williams was running for his life because that offensive line was bad.
Now, to be honest with you, he was running for his life during the Heisman Trophy year.
Yeah.
He was still running.
He was still running.
But this looks different.
This looks like a totally different team.
Completely different.
He did a 100 and he overhauled that whole team.
Yeah.
And they look better.
I did enjoy college football last week.
Yeah, I did too.
I really did. I'm ready for it this week.
Let's hit our picks. We got you, Irish Mike. We got the first game, Texas at Michigan. Michigan's getting 7.5. Home dog. Texas obviously blew out Colorado State 52-0, and then Michigan beat Fresno State 30-10. Fresno was kind of at least hanging around, giving them a remote game.
And they're usually pretty decent anyway.
Yeah, Fresno State's usually pretty
they got
solid.
a good coach out there too. So
I'll take Texas.
This is hard.
I'll take Texas.
Yeah, it's 7.5.
Yep.
I just don't. I'm not sure of Michigan's quarterback really, and if you can't score points against Texas, you're not beating them.
No,
you're not even going to get close. So I probably say it's a clean sweep. It's all of us Texas.
Let's go to the next one. Arkansas at OK State. Arkansas is getting 7.5 on the road at OK State. And they both had big wins last week. Arkansas played Pine Bluff and 70-0, and then I don't know what you make of that game outside of. Don't they need to have mercy rule?
Favorite, Dave. Directional schools are schools with hyphens.
Yes, the hyphen schools every time will catch you.
I seen their spring game. They got some players too. Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas.
They do. Yes.
I'll take Arkansas plus 7.5.
I am too. I'm going to take them too. It's hard to play up there in Stillwater, but I'm still gonna take Arkansas. 7.5. You said the hook.
7 and the hook.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the hook.
Okay, I'll go out. I'll take OK State and lay the hook.
Hey, Dave Clark, and if any Oklahoma State wide receiver catches a game-winning touchdown pass in the last 20 seconds, Mike Gundy does not want to hear about renegotiation of a contract.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Yep.
Wait till December, right?
That's right.
Wait till December.
Yep.
Right. Let's move on to Kansas State at Tulane. Tulane's getting 9 points at home. K-State, big game. I don't know they didn't play anybody. They played Tennessee Martin. I shouldn't say they didn't play anybody, but okay, they didn't.
They beat them
41-6. And then Tulane played Southeast Louisiana. They beat them 52-0. I think Dwight Lamar is no, I'm sorry. I digress. Remember Dwight Lamar played for Southwest Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. They're not Southwest. They're maybe Louisiana or Louisiana State or
Louisiana Tech.
Tech, maybe. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, I digress. He went to Columbus East. Dwight Lamar did.
Okay.
He played with Ed Ratliff, the other.
Yeah.
I digress. Went out of flashback. Anyway, K-State at Tulane. Tulane's a home dog, get 9.
Woo.
You have to be if you bet these games, you got to be a little like on the sicker side. Like if you're betting and you're watching this game, could you imagine? I'm watching the Tulane cave. Come on, you got to win by 9, guys.
Yeah, but you got guys that study it all.
You do. You got guys that do it.
Do.
I know.
K-State, I'm going with them just on what they usually are. You know, I mean, they're usually a tough team, but they go into Tulane. I mean, can they do this on the road?
Yeah, on the road. Tough venue.
Yeah. Not 9 in the hook or just 9?
9. Plain 9. Tulane's getting 9.
I'm gonna stay with K-State.
Okay. Irish Mike?
I'll go Tulane at home. I'll take the 9.
All right. I'll go K-State. Let's go to Georgia Tech at Syracuse. I had to throw this in there. Georgia Tech is giving up 3 points to this Orangeman.
I mean, the quarterback from Ohio State had a great game last week.
Yeah, they beat OU 38-22, and then Georgia Tech is now 2-0. They beat Georgia Southern last week 35-12.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Georgia Tech.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Irish Mike?
I'm going to go with Syracuse at home.
The Cuse. Orange. All right.
Yeah. Carrier Dome, sometimes it's a problem.
Yeah,
up there.
the Dome can be an issue. They get cranked up
I think
Syracuse.
The folks down in Seabus were a little bit too tough on Kyle McCord, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
14 starts under his belt. I think you're just seeing him improve and get better and better.
Yeah.
And Syracuse has a new coach and kind of, got a lot of new stuff going on, new philosophy.
Yeah.
So they may be tough at home. Iowa State.
Oh, I like this.
At Iowa. This is 3:30 on CBS. And this is Iowa is laying 3 points. So Iowa State on the road at Iowa gets 3 points.
Now, even though I seen some almost fell out my chair watching the games, is when I seen Iowa actually scoring a bunch of points
against Illinois State.
Yeah, I know.
40-3.
That's my point. Now you're playing Iowa State, crosstown rival, and they always have been known to score. All the way back past Brock Purdy. They've always been able to score. I'm taking Iowa State in the 3.
Okay. How about you?
Iowa at home. The quarterback's back, the kid who transferred from Michigan to Iowa. Remember, got
McNamara
at the second or third game last year. He missed the rest of the season, and he was going to be the Cade McNown. So I'm going to go with Iowa at home.
You wanted Iowa State, right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to take Iowa State.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll go home Team Iowa, but it means nothing because this is the backyard rival. Next one up is Kansas Jayhawks at Illinois. Brett Bielema won last week, drubbing Eastern Illinois 45-0. And Kansas beat a team called Lindenwood 48-3. I've never heard of Lindenwood. I found that. So anyway.
Let me ask you that. That quarterback is back, right? For Kansas.
Yeah.
That guy's good, too.
So, yeah. What do you think?
Oof.
I'm going to take good call, Dave Carr. I'm going to take Kansas.
Yeah, that guy. I thought he was only a I'm going to go Kansas, too. Okay.
I'm going to take Brett Bielema, and I like Illinois. I like the orange.
It's a good chance.
I think
it's at Illinois, right?
Yep. And he's building the program the right way. I think it's important for the Big Ten to have Illinois being a good team. And the Big Ten really needs Illinois to be good. It helps the conference when you have a team like this who's been kind of down a few years. But Bielema's the kind of coach that can get them back. So I'm going to take the Illinois, the Fighting Illini. Let's move on to Colorado at Nebraska. You know I had to put this one on, even though they're not ranked in the top 25. But it's Dion, and
it's ranked on TV.
It's going to be ranked real high on
viewership
because it's NBC game at 7:30. The Buckeyes are on 7:30 against Western Michigan on Big Ten.
Well, you only need about 15 minutes of that. It should be 45.
Be careful. Western Michigan played Wisconsin tough and lost 28-14. But I believe
what was the name of that team?
Western Michigan and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I'll never care.
I had friends flipping out last afternoon when Ohio State was beating Akron 17-3 at halftime. They were going ballistic.
Oh, they were. They were not happy.
No.
Nobody was happy. They wanted to blow out. They wanted to fire Day at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are itchy. Yeah. Those fans want to fire him. And they are going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And if he beats Western Michigan, if they don't beat Western Michigan, because they didn't cover the point spread last week.
No.
And people are mad about that. So,
let's be honest, Pat. People thought it was going to be like 42-0 at halftime. Let's be
right.
honest.
They did. Oh, everybody did.
Yeah, they want that.
It was 17-0.
They all thought. Everybody thought that.
They're looking at all the other teams that were beating people at half.
52,
52-0.
Right.
And you got here, you're struggling at 17-3. So,
basically a bottom tier feeder in Akron in the MAC, right? I mean, there's 12 teams in the MAC, and they're probably like number 9, 10, or 11 somewhere down there.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
They're not one of the better MAC schools.
No, they're not. No, definitely.
No, they're not. They are a bottom feeder. That's the rain.
Oh man,
we're in our studio. We're hearing, man. All of a sudden, it's like, wow.
I heard enough of that last night.
Yeah, you heard it. Dave thought, wait a minute.
We'll hear no more.
Nebraska is actually laying 7 points.
Woo.
So Colorado on the road getting 7 points. Matt Rule, coach of Nebraska, hopefully turning the corner and making them a force. Another reason why Nebraska would be great if Nebraska and Illinois end up being pretty good teams. It's going to make the Big Ten a better conference.
I do think Nebraska
can do it. I think Brett Bielema and Matt Rule are very good coaches. And if any two coaches that can turn things around, it's those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the question is, right.
Because one thing I know, Colorado should be able to score. It's kind of hard to just stop them from scoring, period. 7 points.
I'm going to go with Nebraska at home. I mean,
yeah.
What I thought I saw Colorado against North Dakota State 9 days ago looked very similar to the Colorado 2023.
Yeah.
A really good quarterback, a dynamic playmaker on the outside, but their quarterback was running for their lives, and the defense is below average.
Yeah, and the offensive line struggled, and that's the problem.
Nebraska.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Lay the points.
But it is at Nebraska, and they want revenge, so...
Well,
7 point. I'm gonna go with Nebraska.
All right,
see if they can pull it out.
I'll be the outlier. I'll take Colorado and the points.
Yeah,
I don't know if Colorado is going to win. I think they've got enough to keep it under 7. So that's how I go.
Yeah.
Last one, I threw it in here for the heck of it. App State at Clemson. App State gets 16.5.
That's always a scary team.
That's what I mean. App State at Clemson.
That's why people don't.
No, they don't like to play them.
No, a lot of teams don't want to. They don't put those teams on.
No,
there.
they don't like.
That's why I gave Colorado.
State. Yep.
Kudos to put North Dakota State. People saying that's a. I don't care if that's a FBS.
No.
They are good.
They're good.
I'm gonna go with. Clemson's gonna write the shit.
Yeah, I go Clemson. How about you, Irish Mike?
I'll go Clemson as well.
Yep.
All right, so we got Clemson across the board.
Man.
That's it. Okay. That's very good. Okay. So there's our picks. We got them out of the way.
Yep.
Let's see. We've
college football, boy.
College football at its finest.
Who's that new? Somebody's that. Oh, that's Michigan, right? It's noon game.
There's the music. Okay. Hold on. When we come back, we'll do our, we got to get an NFL picks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. Back after this.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
The Mahoning Valley's leader for golf, Milk Creek Golf Course, is now booking tee times for 2024. We offer stay and play opportunities available with 9 area hotel partners. For more information, visit our website at millcreekmetroparks.org. Also, look for new, exciting opportunities coming soon, including an indoor player development center with Trackman, an indoor Callaway Club Fitting Center, and an Odyssey Fitting Studio in 2024. Follow us on Facebook at Milk Creek Golf Course or call 330-740-7112.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more tax-free driving tips, visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Saturday morning sports page coming right back at you. Let's go ahead and get Irish Mike back. Hey, Irish Mike.
Yes, I'm here.
We were doing the divisions, but we were going to do the NFL picks right now.
Okay.
Do you want to join us?
I can make a comment because we got to get to soccer. So,
a
quick comment about college football, and then I'm listening to you and Dave give the NFL picks. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, go ahead.
Get your guys' thoughts. I want to get your guys' thoughts. And obviously, you both had Notre Dame, and I had Texas A&M. I mean, from a Notre Dame football perspective, that was probably their biggest road win against a really good opponent, especially at night since 2012 when they beat Oklahoma down in Norman under Bob Stoops. I mean, Marcus Freeman's had some really good wins in his first 3 years as head coach, but that big win on the road at night has eluded them against a top 20 type program. And I think, last Saturday night was a good step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, it was. Yep. It was a tough venue to. The only thing with Texas A&M to me, they never have a quarterback since Manziel. Now Notre Dame played good.
I know you're. Pat, I'm just saying this, and I know you hate this. And I know you hate this. We've talked for years. He was a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school a couple years ago.
I know.
He was.
What? I mean,
everybody in the country wanted him. He had like 65 offers.
I know.
Yeah, major injury.
Yes.
Last year.
And they just, I know.
But he struggled at times. But I mean, it's the quarterback too, but what really jumped off the thing, the athletes of Notre Dame was completely different before.
Yeah.
You see guys that were more flat-footed and stuff. These guys got that little jitterness jumping about them. They got some athletes out there, a little different than in the past.
If you look at Notre Dame's schedule, the only loss that I really see on that, unless Florida State rights the ship, which I think Florida State's got some problems. And again, you potentially at USC
that game's November 9th in South Bend.
Yeah, I told you that. If Florida State has another loss, they're not going to get out. They don't even want to get on the plane and go up there and play November in that cold weather.
Yeah.
I mean, I maybe I'm wrong. I just think the only loss Notre Dame has on that schedule is maybe at the end at USC. That would be it. All those other games, to me, Notre Dame should win and win fairly easy. Maybe Florida State, if he gets them up, he's got the athletes and they get motivated. But I don't know what's going on with that program. Like I said, I don't know what happened Monday night against Boston College. I just never saw Florida State, supposed to be a good Florida State team, get that pushed around like by Boston College.
Yeah, not like that. I mean, boy,
not like
you're gonna have to right the ship this week.
Yeah.
I don't care who they play. They better blow somebody out because they don't look good.
That, you and I talked many times about this often. Especially over his last 3 or 4 years at Notre Dame, maybe over his last 5 years, Brian Kelly got really lazy on the recruiting trail, and they were winning their football games they were supposed to win, games that against smaller schools that they better, based on history and tradition, they're supposed to win. But every time they came up against the elite talent, they came up short under Brian Kelly over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And the one, obviously, Freeman was there in 2021 as his defensive coordinator. Then when Kelly left for LSU, he got the head coaching job, and he's basically been in Notre Dame his 4th year. And I talked to friends behind the scenes who've been covering Notre Dame football for 30, 35, 40 years, been there forever, as writers and access to practice and everything. And they've told me multiple times over the last month that this looks like a Lou Holtz type team. And Holtz had it rolling. I mean, they said they're big, they're long, they're fast, they're quick, they're physical. They got 7 or 8 guys who can draft in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe not first round, but second round, third round, fourth round picks. Guys are going to play pro football someday, where you couldn't probably say that 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Right.
No, I mean, I definitely think that Notre Dame will get into the playoff and probably be the number 5 seed, because they only will have maybe one. They may not have a loss. They could run it and go undefeated. Mm-hmm. I think USC may be the surprise team this year. At least it's only one game, so I don't want to get too carried away. But LSU's a good opponent, and I know Kelly was upset with his team because he said that they were too busy celebrating and the game wasn't over. And he's like, the guys on the sideline were just like, hey, we have this. And he says, I got to do a better job coaching these kids and getting their attention to focus more in on the game.
This is his 3rd year at LSU, and this is the 3rd year in a row they've lost their first game of the season.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're paying you $9.5 million. That's why you went there, because they gave you a 10-year contract worth $95 million.
That's a problem.
That's why you left. Let's be honest.
And that's the problem.
$95 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem is when you pony up all the money and give it to the coach, and he underperforms the contract, then you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
And then what do? And you can't fire him, and then you've got to have the boosters bail you out on the buyout, because you probably have to pay. I wonder I should look up what his buyout is. I'm sure there's LSU people already starting to do that, because they're already looking at what's Brian Kelly's buyout, because if he dumps another game here and there, then,
yeah, well, he got to come back with a vengeance, and that's going to be tough when you in that SEC.
Right. Now, the SEC, people believe the SEC can get 4 teams in the final 12. I don't know. Do you think, Irish Mike, I heard that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be,
that's a lot of teams.
Halloween time, and we'll start to decipher where everybody's at, 8, 9 games in their schedule getting in the month of November. You know what I mean? So that's where it becomes tricky.
Yeah. They could, but then maybe they'll beat up on each other that it'll eliminate guys.
Yeah, cannibalize.
But when you just look at it, you think LSU, if they can write things, you got Alabama, you got Georgia, you got Ole Miss. Ole Miss is no joke. People they better not sleep on them.
No. Lane Kiffin's done a great job down there. Right.
So, that would be something. They had something on TV. They were showing that it's a possibility when they look at it that they can get 4, and so could the Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten potentially.
That's it. That would be unbelievable. But I know they want to try that for that not to happen.
I could see USC, Ohio State, maybe Oregon. Penn State and Oregon. That could be your 4 potentially.
Right.
But they may also cannibalize one another, sort of to speak, beat one another up, and somebody may be left out.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what you got to hope for.
And obviously when you had like Clemson playing Georgia, Notre Dame and A&M, you had Florida versus Miami. When you had the big teams playing each other, the top schools playing top schools coming out of the gate. The games Lucia wants to watch. He doesn't want to watch the hyphen schools and directional schools.
No,
okay? But
please,
when you look at all those games, the head scratcher, and they played somebody people thought we're going to win by 40, 50 points was the Oregon Ducks at home winning 24-14, right?
Yeah, against Idaho, right?
Yeah, against Idaho. And everyone had them as a top 5 team this year, and playing at home and just being. I think they got a late touchdown in the last 5 minutes to pull that to a 10-point game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I was looking for that to be on our little slate for the picks today. If they don't get things right, they better get it right, because Boise is today. They play Boise State.
Boise's 3-0 against Oregon lifetime.
Yeah.
Never lost to Oregon.
Yeah. And that running back, he's probably still running for touchdowns for Boise.
He's one of the top running backs in the country.
Yeah. I mean, he had 6 touchdowns last week and 280 yards or somewhere in there rushing. And they play tonight. I think that might be a late game.
Yeah, that's a 10 o'clock start.
It's 10 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. In Oregon. I think it's in Oregon tonight.
Yeah. It's in Oregon. And, I just think we all thought Oregon with some money starters, and they got that Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma to come out there for NIL money and figured, this is a top 5 team. And I think October 12th, Ohio State plays Oregon out in Eugene. If I'm not mistaken.
October 12th. Everybody's got that on their calendar circled. If you're a Buckeye fan, that's
a tough place.
And
to
then
play
I think
out there.
a couple weeks later, it's at Penn State.
Yep.
So they got, there's 2 losses on the Buckeye calendar, I think, are potential.
Mm-hmm.
At Penn State and at Oregon. And then I think Michigan at home, they should win.
Yeah, they should win that. I mean, Michigan lost a lot of players. Teams like that, they restock, but still, the play that they had from J.J. McCarthy and making good decisions and this and that came up big. So I can't see Ohio State losing to them this year.
Hey, One last comment for you, Jen, before I let you go, because I'm going to get run here. Have anyone had the chance to watch the Netflix documentary on the Stallions guy from Michigan, the coach that was, stealing the signs? Did you guys watch that by chance?
I did not. However, I heard a radio talk show host that watched it and was disappointed in it because he said it didn't tell you anything that you don't know.
Yeah.
And he felt that it was however long it was. But he goes, I've pretty much felt like I wasted my time because they didn't bring anything new to the table. And then he continued. Oh, by the way, he's a high school coach. He's a head coach, Connor Stallions. He's now the head.
Yeah, now he's interim head coach. Something happened to the head coach.
Yeah, the
defense coordinator for 3 weeks. Now he's interim head coach because the head coach has had some health issues. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the radio host that saw it just said that he was disappointed because it didn't give him anything he had not already known.
Yeah.
And Stallions denies this. He keeps denying it, and they don't have anything new to tell you about it.
Prove anything on it.
Yeah, it's just like
stop it. That's all.
Right. It's just
over.
Out there. It's over. It's done. But you're not going to learn anything if you watch it. According to this radio host, and I can't remember the guy's name, you're not going to learn anything you don't already know.
I mean, I don't know if you guys said when you watch it, you just come away with it as a fan. Obviously, Notre Dame fans despise Michigan. That's their biggest rival. Besides USC, that's their biggest rival. And I think as a Notre Dame fan, when you come away with watching it, you say to them, he was just doing what everybody else in college football has done for decades. He just did it more elaborate, smarter, and better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Right.
That's why I'd be so tired of it.
That's what I mean.
You know.
And I personally don't believe it matters.
And I had a friend, Pat, who's a huge Ohio State fan. He told me the same thing. He watched it, and that's exactly what he said. They were just more sophisticated in how they did things.
Yeah, I don't even like
database. He would break down a film, and it'd take him 10 hours to sit down there and get all the signals. Most people want to do that for 20 minutes. And he was sitting on its front of a television in April, May, June, and July for 10 hours a day doing it.
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, your time.
I mean, I would, guy got a life, man. I mean,
I mean,
and again,
they want to blame all the losses or this, or that's the only reason they won.
No,
I mean,
why don't? Like I said, everybody said, why didn't the college after every game? You should change your signals anyway.
Well, it's now, like I told you, isn't it realistic to know that signs still have been going on for years?
However,
why would they have people on the sideline? You got 3 different guys giving signs. You got somebody else holding up pictures. That's because, why would they be doing that? Why would they be doing a diversion of things? Only because they know people can get signs. Right. So it's been going on for years.
But I mean,
he just did it more elaborate.
Right. So again, I hate to keep going back. But back when I was in college, Woody Hayes coached Ohio State Buckeyes. Everybody knew what he was doing every play. Guess what? They won they blew out all those Big Ten teams because they weren't very good. And he fought Michigan. They played Michigan and him were at the same level. The other teams weren't good. It didn't matter what the signs were.
Yeah.
Because he had the same plays He had 10 offensive plays, just executed them very well, and he had great talent, great line, and a great running back, Archie Griffin, and Pete Johnson, and they just ran the ball down your throat. You knew they were going to do it. You knew where they were going to run it.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Right.
And Dave, let's look at Michigan. You mentioned earlier they had 13 picks in the NFL draft last April. It was a very, very veteran-laden team with fifth and sixth-year seniors. Okay.
Yep.
And let's be honest, because people are busting my chops about Notre Dame's schedule this year. I said, what about Michigan's schedule last year in 2023?
Yeah, it was non-existent.
Their first test came in the middle of November when they played Penn State over in Happy Valley, November 10th.
Yeah.
Remember that was when Harbaugh first got suspended. You guys remember that?
Yes.
They landed in Happy Valley. All our news. He's suspended for 3 games.
But that's been
Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State.
We done seen that with a lot of
their
teams.
First test, November 10th.
I mean, we done seen that with Alabama.
They played 9 games that they were at least 15-point favorites or more the first 9 games.
Yeah,
so they had a very manageable schedule.
That's college football.
That's just college football, and then people like to demoralize
a lot of NFL
your
draft
team.
picks.
People just like to put down whoever your team is because those schedules been made. So I mean, it is what it is. They play them.
Yeah, it's college. It's college football. That's why I like the NFL over college because you get better. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
NFL. Even if you got a terrible game, allegedly, it's a good. We have seen so many quote terrible games turn into be really great games, really good games. Watching them, and you can have the 2-10 team beating the 10-2 team.
That's right.
on a Thursday or a Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, they
night,
can beat them,
and they can beat them. Or a Monday night, they catch them off guard. Or the 7, the teams that are at the bottom can always beat a team at the top on, like I said, on any given Sunday. That's what makes the NFL.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
That's the difference. Every week in the NFL,
you can get beat.
You can get beat, and you don't know who can beat who because you're not going to have massive blowouts like this, college in the beginning because they don't have exhibition. But NFL, that's why the NFL is king, is because again. And it proves it. The ratings prove it. College is second. NFL and college football are 1 and 2 in ratings. And then I don't care where you get baseball and the NBA, they drop off, way drop off. But the 2 sports, national sports, is the NFL football and college football are 1 and 2 every year.
Yep, and it'll be like that.
And it's always going to be that way. But the NFL is so great is because people can watch it every week and not know who can win.
Yeah, and that's just
what they enjoy about it.
And that's it. That's what makes it so great.
That's what makes it
You
great.
just don't know.
That's why you can continue to root for your team no matter what their record is. They can come out there and beat somebody that think. And you can't get like that in the NFL. Oh, we got this game, just mark a W.
No.
Because you get your butt kicked.
Right. No.
Yeah. Hey, Pat. Hey, Dave. Thanks for so much for having me on. You guys have a great weekend, gentlemen.
Thanks, Irish Mike. Good deal.
Take
Thanks
care.
for calling.
Okay.
That's it. It's Irish Mike.
All right. Well,
all right.
We can do. We have our NFL picks in our divisions, right?
Yeah. Let's do. What do you think, Dave? Where we want to go here? We can go back to the divisions, and
we probably could. We got enough time to probably get the. We was in the NFC. No,
we were in the
AFC.
We were in the AFC.
That's
we had done the East.
AFC,
we were going to do the North.
Yep.
So this is it. So the North.
Well, I'm gonna go. What a division! I'm gonna go Cincinnati first.
Okay.
Baltimore, right there,
right,
and they could switch, but I'm gonna put that there. Cleveland third,
right,
and Pittsburgh there. And what's so funny about that? Depending on Burrow staying healthy, depending on a resurgence of Russell Wilson or something happened in Justin Fields, Pittsburgh could be up there.
I don't know.
If Deshaun Watson all of a sudden turn anything close to the old Deshaun Watson, Cleveland can win it. That is a great division. But I'm going to go with that lineup right now. That thing is switch easy.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go Browns number 1. I think this is their year.
It could.
Deshaun puts it together. I think they have the best roster in the division, top to bottom.
I do believe that.
So I think it's their year. I'll probably just put the curse on them. I apologize. Browns, Man, I'll tell you what, after this, I'll go Bengals, and I'll go Ravens, and I'll do Steelers last.
And one thing, Lamar Jackson, if he stay healthy, he's going to be a major problem this year.
He's a runner.
Because he lost that weight. And
he looked good. The only concern I have with Lamar is he runs. He's very good. Showed it Thursday night. Where I think the problem gets with him is he runs, he's more apt to wear down and get injured.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes with him, is he gets hurt. Burrow's same with the injury bug.
Yeah,
and he hasn't been healthy, and that's where I struggle.
That's the problem with both of them. Yeah. And Burrow's been getting
hurt and out, and bad injuries where he's out for the year.
Yep.
Lamar wears down, and then he can't run as well. It's because he's kind of hurt and banged up. Then he's got to throw the ball more. And again, he needs to obviously work a little bit on that. They should have won. He had the Flowers in the end zone. He missed that throw, which would have. I think that if he completes that, they go for 2. I think they would have won the game because he wasn't going to kick the extra point. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to the West, and we have obviously the LA. We still call them the San Diego Chargers out there. The Raiders, the Chiefs.
Good division. Kansas City again. Until you can knock them off, I'm putting them first every time. So. I'm struggling between. Chargers got some issues, but the coach is there, but they got some problems going on right now.
Right, and you have the Broncos, and then you got the Raiders,
and they got that is such a hard one. Only reason I'll put the Chargers second is because of Justin Herbert over the other two.
Yeah, that's what I have.
The only reason.
I've got the Bolts.
They got some injuries going on that might be a problem.
Could be. Harbaugh's great coach, and with Herbert, I'll put them over. Then you have really Denver Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Raiders next. Even though I think the Raiders could surprise if they get good quarterback play, they could surprise somebody. But same thing with Denver. They could too if Bo Nix running that system.
He's the captain. Not only is he getting the start as a rookie, but he's a captain of the team. And Dave Clark, do you know who was the last Denver Bronco who was a captain as a rookie?
Johnny. Was it Johnny? It's not Johnny Elway?
No.
As a rookie?
As a rookie, he was named captain.
Guy?
What?
Was he a defensive guy? I'm trying to think if I can even think back.
You got to go way back. Way back. I'll give you the hint.
Floyd Little?
They were in, that's it.
It's Floyd.
AFL, Floyd Little was he was a rookie captain. He was the last rookie captain out of Syracuse, Floyd Little.
And people that don't know should remember, and I don't know if you know that, if you research it, his mother lived in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, did she?
Yes, she did. Floyd Little's mother stayed in Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow. Floyd Little, man.
And
there's
man,
a name
was he something.
He was
Floyd Little. See, nobody talks about those guys.
No.
That guy was great.
No, he was a great player. And the other guy that I had his football card, Abner Haynes, my favorite.
Oh, that guy.
I love Abner Haynes. I had his the AFL cards were bigger than your NFL card. They were bigger cards.
Yep.
And they were but I love the AFL.
Had great gum in it.
And the gum in it was great. Everybody, that gum was fantastic. And I just remember the Denver player.
Cars were big.
Those cars were really big.
You could put them in a frame.
Yep,
almost.
You could. You could frame those cards.
They were big. Yes.
So anyway, let's move on. I guess let's do the
South.
The South. That's obviously, we got
Tennessee.
Let's see what we have. Yeah, let's go to the NFC South.
Okay, I got it.
Let's
AFC, right?
Yeah, AFC South here.
I'm going Houston first.
You got Houston.
I got Houston. Even though their schedule's a little tougher, I'm still take them. Jacksonville right behind them. And what we got left?
Tennessee, and then you got Tennessee and the Colts.
Oh, man, wait a minute. The Colts could surprise people. But I'm going to go Colts third and then Tennessee. But that's Tennessee has always been always going to be tough.
This is I'll tell you what. I'll take the Jags as a bounce back.
Yeah, and they should.
And they should.
They got the talent to do it.
I still take the Texans. I think they will be fine. They will win a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's a coin flip because you really don't know Richardson, how good he didn't play much. So, but he's got the talent. And so you're kind of deciding. Titans have a new head coach. Yeah. So they did away. Obviously, the team is radically different.
Yeah, it is.
So you've got a whole different team in Tennessee. You just don't know what you have there.
Yeah.
I'll go out on a limb. I'll take the Colts too and Titans. The thing with the Titans, I just don't know.
Yeah.
They could be a surprise team.
Yeah, and I think
a new coach, Will Levis with a new coordinator, new everything. And surprise people.
And he really can make all the throws.
And he can make the throws.
And he got good receivers.
Right.
Picking up Ridley to go with DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going to be coming to him. Then they got Burks. He can rebound from his rookie year, and he's got the talent. So this is going to be something.
Let's move over to the NFC East. We know the players there. Mm-hmm. I kind of gave you mine last week. I have the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants.
Yeah, that's the same way I'm putting it. Exactly the same way.
Okay, so then let's look at what? Let's look at the let's look at the NFC. Let's go with the Packers. That's the North. Mm-hmm. Minnesota, the Packers, Detroit,
and the
Bears.
Man, what a division! But I'm going Detroit, number one. Shocker here. Chicago Bears.
Bears.
Minnesota.
Oh my gosh, you got the Packers in last. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just going to mix some stuff up. Even though I can't see the Packers is going to be great. I mean, even I watched that game. Long as Jordan Love is okay, he did get injured at the end, leg injury, but I don't know how severe it was. They're going to be hard to beat.
No, they're going to be tough.
That division is. I just think I wanted to throw this something in there. I think Chicago really is going to be better than they were, but than we've seen in the past. But more than likely, Green Bay will. Rise up.
I got the Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings.
Yeah,
that's my take because I just think that at the end of the day, that's kind of where you're headed on that.
Yeah.
So next one up, let's go with the NFC South. So now that one's kind of competitive. You got the Atlanta, you got Saints, you got the Buccaneers and the Panthers.
I'm gonna actually go Atlanta first.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be the pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them first, and then we got left Saints.
You got the Saints. You got the Falcons. You got Atlanta, the Bucks, Saints, and obviously the Panthers.
Yeah, I can't disrespect Todd Bowles. We have his team ready to go. But I'm gonna go Atlanta, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and then Carolina.
I've got it. I've got the Buccaneers, Falcons, Saints, and Panthers. But we just flipped the top two teams. Okay, we'll come back with the fourth quarter and wrap up our picks. Yep. Saturday morning sports page.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Lean Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532. Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football. Or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
This is Jerry Snodgrass, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One of my long-standing goals is to help people understand that high school sports are about so much more than wins and losses. The OHSAA promotes education-based athletics, where sports are an extension of the classroom. Our schools all want to win. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it's all about sportsmanship, leadership, and making certain that academics are a priority. Thank you for your support of high school sports in Ohio.
Saturday morning sports page right back at you. Fourth quarter of the show. Let's go to it, Dave Clark.
Yep.
The NFC West.
49ers. First.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. 49ers.
What we got left in there?
We've got, obviously,
Rams. I'm going to go Rams.
The Rams, Seattle, yeah.
Yep. And then we got Seattle and who else? Arizona.
I'll
go Seattle. No. Ooh, man, that's a tough one. Come with the... I'm going to go San Fran, Rams, Arizona.
Okay.
And then Seattle.
Okay, I've got it. 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals. So you and I have flipped that.
Yeah.
But we're it's a little chalky, but I don't know. 49ers, I think, are the team. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Let's go back. Your wild cards. You need 3 wild cards in each division. So you have the Bills winning it.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. So they're in the wild card. I mean, I'll put the Jets as a wild card.
Yeah, I want them in too.
That would be, then we have 2 more wild cards to pick. This is where it gets tough.
Because
you've got, I'll take, obviously I've got the Browns and you got the Bengals, and I'll take Bengals as my other wild. I'll take Bengals, the Jets, and I'll, just for the heck of it, I'll do the Bolts. I'll do the Bolts getting in. That's a reach because it should be the Ravens, but that would leave the Ravens out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I do Browns in. You've got
I got the Jets.
You got the Jets, and you need 2 more.
Baltimore.
Okay.
And Cleveland. Yep.
Okay, so you got 2 wild cards coming out of the North. I've got the Bolts being in there as a wild card. Okay, let's go over to what we could do is finish this.
Yeah.
Who do you see in the conference finals in the AFC?
I'm going to say Kansas City once again.
Right.
And the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. And then who do you have winning that game?
Cincinnati.
Okay, so you have Cincinnati in your Super Bowl. Okay. Let's go. Then it's up to me. Okay, duh. I will go. I've got. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's see. I will basically have. Let's go there. I'm going to surprise everybody. I've got the Bills and the Bengals in the final.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Let's go over to the NFC. And who do you have as your wild cards? We have
Dallas.
You got Dallas? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do Dallas too. Then what do you have?
South.
You got 2 more to go. Now you could do
Rams.
Mm-hmm. And you're down to 1. You have either the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could do the Bears as a wild card.
I'm going to go Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then who do you have in your conference final?
San Fran and Dallas. Old days.
Oh, wow. Okay. The boys.
Yeah.
And
they haven't been talked about so long, so I'm
about time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, in the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Can you believe that Dallas Cowboys finally make it back to the Super Bowl?
Okay, so
30 years later,
you have basically the boys and the Bengals.
Yeah,
and then who do you have winning it?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
All right. I will basically do this. Yeah, I'll go my wild card will basically be Dallas. I'll go on a roll. I think I'm pushing it, but I think the Packers get in and the Rams get in as wild card. I think my NFC final will be Detroit taking on the Eagles and Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. And I will have, I got a Detroit Buffalo Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Which would be nice. It'd be different.
It will be totally different. And because I'll give it to the Bills. Just because it's Detroit's first one, it's going to be tough to win it. I'll go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as my Super Bowl. You got the Bengals winning it. I got the Bills winning it.
And both of them need to win.
Yes, they do.
Cincinnati and Buffalo need to win a Super Bowl.
Yes, they do. They've been there enough. Buffalo, obviously, 4 times, 0 for 4.
Now Dallas haven't been there, right? 30 years.
No, Dallas was there. The last year was 95. Yeah, right. So you're 30 years.
30 years. And they talked about so much. You think they've been in the Super Bowl several times.
You would think. They haven't even been to they have not even been to an NFC final in 30 years.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how basically dry up.
Yeah, they've been great in many regular seasons. They have been great, but that's it. But I said, people talk about them so much, so I'm going to do that today. Now, if I just go as a fan, it would be the Philadelphia Eagles against the Las Vegas Raiders in the Super Bowl. But I'm not doing. I'm throwing that out there as something that could happen.
Yeah, I threw it out.
Yep.
I got Buffalo and Detroit.
And Cincinnati and Dallas. That'd be a completely different look.
Right. I almost went with the Browns in Detroit.
Yeah,
I was always debating. I was debating that point. I almost went with the Browns. Both teams never been there. This is the year they both get there,
and that would be tremendous.
That would be crazy.
Now you're bringing back the nostalgia.
Oh yeah,
the 50s when they were
50s when the Lions were tough. They were the team in the 50s.
Yeah. A powerhouse.
And they fought the Browns. The Browns if you look at the 1950s, the Browns and the Lions dominated the 50s.
Yeah.
Till the end of the decade. Then the Colts got the last 2 wins in the decade. They got it 58-59. Mm-hmm. But up till then, it was really the Browns. The Rams got one of them, but then it was the Browns and the Lions and they were always playing one another.
Yep.
Beating one another up back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people don't even remember that the Lions and the Browns were the 2 dominant teams in the 50s in the NFL.
and to have that's really bringing back some nostalgia.
And that's really going back well over 60, 70 years now.
Can you imagine what type of how it would be when they start putting that together, the production of that Super Bowl? Because they'll go back to that and just show the history of those 2 teams and how they dominated the 50s. You'll be seeing all those type highlights building up to that Super Bowl game. That'd be something if that happens. Because around here, if the Browns go to the Super Bowl, man, win it. It'll really be nuts if they won it. But if they just went, it's just like when the Cavaliers went. Just they went. It's just like what the.
And then they finally won it in 16.
Yeah. And
the Indians went in 16 and they lost to the Cubs in the World Series. Same year. They almost had 2 world champs in 1 year.
That would have been something.
That would have been something else. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go to the NFL games this week. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the game last night was 34-29. Eagles beat Packers. And then the game before Thursday night was the Chiefs 27, Ravens 20. Let's go to the Steelers at the Falcons. The question is going to be Russell Wilson's calf issue. Does he play or not? Now, there's rumor is that if he doesn't play, Justin Fields plays. And if they do well with Justin Fields as quarterback and say they win, Russell Wilson's not going to get to play because they'll stick with Russell. They're going to stick with Justin Fields if he wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that way either way. If Russell Wilson is able to play and play well, then it's going to stay with Russell Wilson.
Right.
But if he, this calf situation, he can't play, and Justin can win this game and play well, it's over.
It's over.
He has to revert and start making a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Then they'll flip it back.
But if Fields goes out and he starts and he beats the Falcons, the team beats the Falcons, he looks good.
Yep.
No turnovers.
And he'll have to stay that way. Keep that job for the following year because I still think both of them are gone.
Oh yeah.
If and they'll be looking for a quarterback.
Well, they're going to, and that's the thing too, is Fields is, I think of all of them, if Fields starts to play really good and becomes a quarterback, then they have to pay him.
Yeah.
And then we're getting into the $50 million contract discussion. And that's where it always goes kind of south because Pittsburgh doesn't really want to pay their quarterback that much money, but they're going to have to ultimately pay somebody.
They're going to have to pay somebody.
You're going to have to pay somebody. Now, do you draft or free, what do they do for a quarterback? That's going to be the question. Let's go ahead and go to the game. Steelers at the Falcons, and actually the Steelers are getting 3 and a hook.
Wow. Well, man. I'm thinking Atlanta win, but that maybe I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with the Steelers because of that hook. I'm always thinking about their defense because it shows up. TJ Watt coming around the end. Kirk Cousins. He can move around, but he ain't moving that fast from that guy. So as long as they can keep that under wraps, they might can keep that game close. But I still think Atlanta might could win it. But I'm gonna take the points. Pittsburgh. That's a hard one though. That definitely is hard.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is one of these ones. Actually, now it's 2 and a hook.
Wow. That's even that makes I don't know if that changes go to Atlanta.
Yeah,
now.
They went it down. It went. No, I'm sorry. This is confusing.
Okay.
Open it. What do they keep? If I keep getting. All right. Let's go with the 3 and a hook. Yeah. So you're gonna take the Falcon. You're taking the Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a 3 and a hook still, or
3 and a hook.
Yeah, stick with that.
Okay. Cardinals are at the Buffalo Bills. This is maybe a larger spread, and they're getting 6.5 at Buffalo. So,
I don't know what to expect out of. I mean, I know Josh Allen can do what he do, but will the receivers be what he used to having? Will he elevate his receivers like Mahomes have done, or guys like that, Aaron Rodgers? They don't care who they got; they just elevate their receivers even more. So, can Josh do that? I don't know. Now it's pouring again. I'm gonna go with 6 and a hook, and Arizona got to come all the way across.
Yeah, they're coming. That's a good point. It's a 1:00 game. You got a West team.
I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Going east.
But I'm gonna circle that one. I'm trying to remember to put that on. I'm gonna go Buffalo, but I do believe Arizona can actually steal this game because I think they're going to be better than people think. I really do. I think Arizona's going to be better than people think.
Okay, so you want Buffalo?
Yeah, and the only reason is because of travel across.
I'll take Bills. Let's move to the Titans at the Bears. A rookie quarterback.
That's tough.
This one's tough. No, it's actually now 4.5. Bears are laying 4.5 to Tennessee. So
I think this is going to be a battle. So I'm going to take, I don't know, I got to watch them to see if they can be there. I think Chicago can win this, but it might be a field goal game. So you said 4.5? I take the points.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking the Titans and the points.
Yeah,
I think it's very hard for a rookie quarterback to come in and win right away.
Yeah.
He'll be learning curve. It's not preseason. And I think, to your point, it's going to be, this is one of these close games either way. Could come down to a field goal. So I'll take the Titans and the points. The next one up is the Bengals taking on the Patriots at home, 8.5. A lot of points, 8.5.
Yeah.
Bengals lay 8.5 to the Patriots, who basically people are pretty much writing off as the worst team in football.
Yeah. The thing is that they are the worst team, but not the worst defense.
No, their defense is good.
Their defense is good. And I don't know what to say about the offense. I know they're going to want to run with Stevenson.
And you got Jacoby Brissett making the start.
Yeah, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
No.
That's the thing about it. So Higgins is not playing.
No, Higgins has got
He's out. Hamstring, right?
Hamstring.
And it's up in the air
if we don't know if Chase is playing right?
either. Yep, that's up in the air. And that bothers me.
Yeah, it bothers me because, again,
he doesn't know if he's playing. So this is, how many? 9?
8.5.
8.5. That's a big number.
I'll take Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to still take them because I don't think New England can score enough.
No.
They might win 14-3.
It could be. It could be a 14-3 game.
Yeah, but they still have enough to cover.
It'll be enough to cover. That's the tough part.
Yep.
Next one is the Texans are at the Colts.
That's going to be good, I think.
3 points. So the Colts get 3 points at home, another home dog. I'll take the Texans and lay the 3 points. I know that's a reach because that game could go either way. That's almost a coin flip game.
Yep.
But it could, but yeah.
I'm going to try Indy.
Okay.
But it is. I agree with that. That's a coin flip.
The Jags are playing the Miami Dolphins -3. Finns are laying 3.5 to Jacksonville at home.
Miami's at home?
Yep. Miami's at home laying 3.5 to Jacksonville.
3 and a hook.
And a hook to the Jags.
Oh, man.
Lawrence is 100% healthy now. He wasn't last year. He struggled, but I think a lot of it was he was injured. He was playing through it or trying to.
I'm going Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's hard, though. The thing I don't like is Miami lost 3 of their offensive linemen in free agency. And it was the big-time run blockers. They had a great running game last year. Can they have that again? If they don't, and it's just straight Tua having to throw all the time, that might be a problem.
Let's take the Panthers at the Saints. Panthers get 4 points on the road at New Orleans.
They're not beating them in New Orleans. I'm going to take the Saints. Yeah. It's hard.
I really can't.
I don't know.
Really, to me, the Panthers are maybe hopefully a little bit better. But
yeah, they say they should be. Why is all this stuff going on? Derek Carr is a decent quarterback, but they've been talking about Spencer Rattler taking over.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to happen.
They could say.
Yeah.
They could say that Rattler is surprising everybody.
Yep.
And he could end up being the starter.
Right.
In New Orleans. That's how close it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was kind of, he wasn't very good in college. He struggled in college. He kept transferring school to school to school. But we always get into these conversations. Maybe he never got into the system, and he got into the right system.
Yeah,
in New Orleans with Allen as the head coach, and
he had a good.
He's starting to flourish. Had a very good combine. Yeah, he did. Surprise. He might be one of the quarterbacks that just develops a little bit later on as he gets older.
Yep.
And could, end up being a decent NFL quarterback. Who knows? Vikings are at the Giants. The Giants are actually getting 1.5 points at home. Sam Darnold is back at MetLife.
Yeah, no.
He knows it well.
Right.
He ran for his life at MetLife when he was with the Jets.
Yeah.
Many, many days.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where he was sometimes because he didn't really know.
Yeah.
Because that offensive line was a sieve, and he was making some great runs because he had to. Sam Darnold, but he's back. The Giants, we don't know. They just watched Saquon Barkley have a career day versus the Green Bay Packers, scoring 3 touchdowns, had over 100 yards rushing. And I don't know if that's going to come back to haunt the Giants because now they don't have that. Daniel Jones does not have the safety valve in Saquon. He's gone. Mm-hmm. And the Vikings, obviously, with Darnold, their quarterback, McCarthy, out for the year with the meniscus. Now, this is kind of a real coin flip game because I don't know where you.
I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota. Yeah.
I know the Giants can rush the passer. Yeah. They got
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns and Thibodeau, very, very good.
Yep.
So they got the defense.
They're going to be able to get to the quarterback.
They're going to get to the quarterback. The question's going to be Daniel Jones, that offensive line, and are the Vikings going to get Brian Flores is their coordinator in Minnesota.
Yeah, I know.
And he's always got a mean, tough defense.
Yep. That's the reason I'm going that way, and I'm trying to figure out who's going to stop Justin Jefferson.
Right. On the Giants. That's me too. I have to lean.
I think Neighbors going to have a good game too.
Neighbors could do it.
Yep.
Again, these are hard. I'll go with the Vikings too. Raiders are at the Bolts -3. So the Raiders lay the Bolts lay 3 points to the Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Raiders in the 3.
Okay. I'll take the Bolts.
And I know the Bolts want a revenge because the last time they played, they scored 60-something points on them. Yeah. They're not having that.
Let's go out to Seattle, where it's the Broncos are at the Seahawks.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, this is really a coin. This is really a wild game because I don't even know what to make of either one of these teams. -6. Broncos getting 6 points on the road in Seattle.
Oh.
And obviously Seattle's new head coach, Pete Carroll, long gone now.
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald is the head coach.
He's a defensive mind.
Right. And you got Geno Smith maybe trying to do better than last year. He went down a little bit. He had a good season before that. Last season, he had a dip down. Can he snap it back?
Yeah. And he wasn't terrible last year, but it did drop some, and he was injured a little bit too. So,
and you've got Bo Nix is the starter and the captain for the Broncos. And it's -6.
That's a lot, though.
I'm going to lean. I have a feeling the Broncos are going to keep it close.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They will.
They're just going to keep it. I'm not saying they're going to win. I think that the Broncos will keep it somewhat close.
Yeah,
and surprise Seattle. And I think it could be a field goal game.
Yeah, I take those 6 points too.
Let's go to the. This is the one we've been waiting for. Tom Brady. This is, I guess, his debut.
Well, hopefully I won't have to listen to him. My brother's season ticket holder. He said his friend that usually goes may not go. He's going to call me tonight.
Oh,
if that happens,
you may be there.
I'll be up there to his house Sunday morning for that 4. I think it's 4:30 game.
Yes, it is. It's the 4:25 game, and it's on Fox. We get the game here locally. Yep. We get the Steelers at 1 and the Cowboys and Browns at 4. Going to be it's going to be a perfect day. It's going to be 65 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
It'll be a perfect football day to be out there. Just perfect. Not hot. You're not going to be dying. It's going to be gorgeous weather to be at a football game. 2 and a hook. The boys are getting 2 and a hook.
Wow. We take the boys up in there.
You're going to take the boys.
But it's hard to be in. I want Cleveland to take them out, though. It's hard. Well, they still could beat them. They still could win.
Yeah. I'll take the Browns. I'll take the Browns and lay the 2.5. The next one up is the Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 425 Fox. We're not getting that game, but the Commanders are getting 3.5 at Tampa.
I'm going to take a surprise pick and take the Commanders.
Okay. What I'm going to go with the Bucs because I think Todd Bowles, being the defensive genius that he is, I believe he is, I think he's going to give the new quarterback a lot of fits. And I'll go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I do too. The only thing, that other asset that Jaden Daniels has is he can absolutely run.
He can go. That's going to be
that's a problem.
I just think the rookie quarterbacks are going to struggle as they always do first game out of the box. Not to say,
all the way, yeah.
But I'll go with the Buccaneers just because if it was a different coach with the defense, I'd probably lean toward Commanders. But I really like Todd Bowles a lot. And I like his defense. He could drive people crazy. The Sunday night game is going to be the Rams at the Lions. I can't wait for this game.
That's a good game one too.
This is 3.0. They changed this. This went down to 3.5.
Who's
getting 4.5? The Lions lay 3.5 to the LA Rams.
I guess I'm gonna take the points because I think that's what it is, a field goal game.
It could be. So you want the Rams?
Yeah, but Detroit can score.
Boy, this is Goff taking on, these are the guy they were traded for, the quarterbacks were flipped.
And the last time they played, they both played great.
They both played
Detroit
great.
Came out on the win.
Goff won.
Man, what a game.
But
both
Stafford played great.
Yep. And I think they will again.
Stafford comes home. This is a tough game. I like the Lions. I'll take the Lions and lay, but I agree with you. The final game and maybe the most interesting game of the weekend. You have to think it is. I mean,
it's got to be, man. It's got to be.
This has got to be the best game of the week. The Jets are at the 49ers. We have been Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
I want him to play so well.
Oh, I do too. I want the Jets to do well. Even being a Giant fan, but I would love to see the Jets do really well this year. 4.5. The Jets get 4.5 on the road with the 49ers. The 49ers had a weird preseason because you had Ayuk, but they signed Eric Williams. They got everybody signed up and they're ready to go. Now the preseason was weird because you had the holdouts.
Yeah.
But now that they're all back in camp, and then I don't know if I will guarantee you Hassan Reddick is going to be there because he's not missing a game check.
You think they'll get him in before Monday night?
Yeah. He's going to. He
didn't sign yet, right?
Not yet, but he's going to be there because he's not missing a game check. These guys are not holding out. They're not. They're not going. No.
Got a day and a half now.
No, well, he's going to be there. I will be shocked if he's not there. Who do you have though?
I'm gonna take the Jets in the 4.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna take them in the hook.
Yeah, I will. I'll bite it. I was. As much as I think I should take the Niners.
Me too.
I will.
I'm just going to do it just because I just want to see them do well.
Me too. I'll do it because I think Rodgers do his thing.
Yep. Hey, one thing before we go. NCAA lost another little court case.
They lost another court case.
Lost. I just wanted to put that in there.
Oh, you had to. No. Surprise. Gee. Saturday morning sports page. Stay safe. Do not drink. Do not drive. Buckle up. It is. Stay sober. Don't drive high. Saturday morning sports page.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Catch the Circa Friday Football Invitational at 9 p.m. Eastern with picks from some of the sharpest bettors around the country. Then on Saturdays at 9, watch the Football Contest Show, where our expert hosts and guests go through the consensus choices for some of the biggest betting contests in the world. The fun doesn't stop there. Visit VSiN.com for the full lineup and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.